Vanakkam. Greetings to all who have joined our Meditation for World Peace and Harmony group. Whenever meditation is done collectively together in many countries, it becomes a social force and is strong enough to expand across the country to the whole world. We would like to thank all the participants who took the time to meditate with us today. May the whole world be blessed with peace, prosperity, and well-being. Thank you. வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளத்துடன். Our guest speaker tonight is Nizar Mawani, a popular pharmacist in our area, that is Hayden's Pharmacy, Wimbledon, London, Southwest 19. Nizar has been passionate about community pharmacy from the day he first wore his white coat. Nizar also won Pharmacy Business Award in 2021. He celebrated his 80th birthday last year and continues to work as a full-time pharmacist. According to him, he really enjoys being a pharmacist and serving the community. This service is what keeps him going at this age. He also enjoys entertaining people through comedy performance as well. Now I invite Mr. Nizar Mawani to speak about peace and harmony. His speech will be summarized in Tamil by our Australian Tamil translator, Mr. Kumarasamy Pillai Master. அவருடைய ஆங்கில பேச்சை குமாரசாமி பிள்ளை அவர்கள் தமிழில் மொழியாக்கம் செய்வார்கள். மிகவும் நன்றி. Thank you very much, Nizar Mawani. The stage is yours.
Can you bring me on the screen now?
Yeah. You're okay. You can carry on. And
Yeah.
also, I want to show you your photograph when you're receiving the award with the, what's that?
Yeah. Lovely.
One second. Okay. I'll show you the photograph. Then you can speak. After that, you can speak. Sorry. You can see the photograph here. He's with the Prince Charles, I think, when he was receiving this award, I think, this pharmacy business award, I think. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see the photograph?
Yeah.
Yeah, is here. Prince Charles is
Yes,
here.
we can see. Yeah.
Okay, now you can speak now. You can speak.
Thank you. Right. First of all, thank you very much. But before I start, I want to say good evening and good morning and good afternoon, because there may be various people in other countries where the timing may be different. And before I start, I want to first of all to thank the organizers for inviting me to talk to you, and also a big thank you to you all who are attending this session of Peace and Harmony. My name is Nizar Mawani, as said earlier, and I'm a community pharmacist in Wimbledon. So I'm not really a kind of a professional in this particular subject, but rather an ordinary man like you. And today I wish to express my view on this particular topic. In my early years of life in Tanzania, East Africa, I hardly knew what stress, depression, and anxiety was. But in UK, during my years in pharmacy, I'm finding out that more and more, and perhaps in an alarming number of people, are taking remedies of the medication for stress, anxiety, and tension. And even more alarming is that those as young as 14 and 15 years old. So to them, it seems that there is no peace in their lives, and hence they are turning to the external sources to combat external harsh environment. And I say that, and I qualify that by the word because, and for the reason, they with the understanding that today, if we read at the newspapers, listen to radio, and watch TV or on internet, we will find that the peace is the most sought after commodity. I deliberately call it a commodity because we treat it like goods which we can buy or sell. That is by bribery, by loans, and by gifts. Today, if you look around you, the world is full of conflicts, disputes, battles, and wars, as for example in Middle East, in Sudan, and more recently in Ukraine. It certainly exists at the individual level, at the community level, and at the national level, and also at international level. To combat that, we have established arbitration and conciliation board, UN peacekeeping force, peace missions, peace delegates, peace commissions, peace treaties, and so on and so forth. We have, we have also written the articles, we have written many books on peace and sung the pop songs like in the Beatles in the 60s, where the song goes, all we are saying, give peace a chance. In October 1991, at the height of the first Gulf War in Iraq, a large peace concert was held at Albert Hall in London. The organizer said, very interestingly, the organizer said, the concert is not meant to be political. It is a comment on it is not a comment on the Gulf War. It is a chance for the people to listen to peaceful music to develop peace within them. More recently, on the 31st March this year, United Nations Chamber of Music Society presented a concert for the peace in Ukraine. Now, peace within is a very important development, rather different from looking for the peace from the outside world. Like in many cases, from the voluminous material plenty and the external luxuries, all these we are gaining so as to get peace. It is now, when we talk of the peace within, has become the domain of the religion now. First of all, before we go in the domain of the religion, let us first look at how external peace is perceived by the different group of people. To a child, peace is a nature where the birds are singing, the rising and setting of the sun, the sound of the gentle waves of sea, and the harmony of the nature. That's for a child. To a politician, it will be no crisis in the country, describing it as a peaceful country in the peaceful times. To a soldier, it is the absence of the disputes and the wars. For an individual itself, it will be the absence of the tension, fear, and anxiety. So each one of us have developed our own concept about the definition of the peace and the understanding of the peace. But United Nations Charter has spelled out nicely. It says, wars begin in the mind of man. It is there where the defenses of the peace have to be constructed. What a wonderful way of putting that. That means that not in the arms and the weapons, but the peace begins in our own mind. Then U Thant, once a General Secretary of United Nations, he made a comment when he resigned. And he said, there is no peace in the world today because there is no peace in the heart of man. So it is the peace in the heart of man can be a real source of peace in this world. That makes sense. The external luxuries and comfort can never give us peace. For example, if you like biryani or any of your other favorite food, and if the same is offered to you when you are ill, the chances are that you may reject it. So it is not biryani, but the state of your mind that determines whether and what gives you peace and pleasure. Your mind determines peace. Since the peace within is the domain of the religion, now let us look at the major world religion. What do they have to say about the peace? Hinduism talks about Om Shanti, 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 a powerful Vedic mantra of the sacred recitation with healing vibration for cosmic and inner spiritual attainment. Roughly, it translates, may peace prevail. I'm going very shortly on these ones. There's a lot to be said about it, but each religion I'm covering shortly. Buddhism sees peace as the inner state of the mental tranquility which spreads outside. But, and Buddha attained inner peace by the practice of meditation. In Judaism, peace is very important belief in Judaism itself. Jews greet each other by saying shalom, which is a Hebrew word meaning peace, wishing each other peace be with you. And so does the Muslims by saying assalamu alaikum, may peace be with you. In Christianity, interestingly, Jesus himself was called the Prince of Peace. And he left the legacy of peace in Bible. John chapter 14, 25 in the Bible, John chapter 14, 25 in the Bible, he said, peace I live with you, not the peace the world gives you. So he didn't mean the peace the outside world it gives you, he meant the peace within that by following the tracks of the religion. Here he refers to the spiritual peace, peace within. Islam came as a blessing to mankind, a universal religion, or rather a way of our life, our daily life, how to conduct ourselves in our daily life. The word Islam itself means peace. This peace acquired by the total submission to will of God. Peace is one of the 99 attributes of God. The Quran says, on the day of judgment, God will say, on the day of judgment, God will say, "O peaceful soul, come and enter my paradise." That is the chapter 88, verse number 22. According to one tradition, the Prophet of Islam once said, don't wish for confrontation with your enemy. Instead, always ask for peace from God. So the message of the whole religion is peace, acquired internally, which eventually manifests itself outside. If you have peace within us, it automatically will manifest outside in the world. In September 2017, the Lutheran World Federation organized its first interfaith, yes, first interfaith peace messengers training. First interfaith peace messengers training. The participants gained skin, among other things, included meditation. They were taught meditation to acquire that peace. Now, it is very interesting to note one fact here. All major prophets of the Middle East acquired that exalted state peace in meditation. Jesus sought the wilderness of desert. Moses sought Moses sought the loftiness of the mountain. Jesus sought the wilderness of the desert, and Muhammad sought the refuge of the dark cave. And Buddha himself chose to sit under a fig tree to meditate. The Quran says, those who struggle in our way, we show them the path of peace. Those who struggle in our way, those in struggle in the way of God, whichever God you believe in, if you struggle in that way, there will be peace shown to you. You'll be shown the path of the peace. In Gita, Lord Krishna in chapter 1854 says, he who believes in spirituality of Krishna, he does not grieve on anything, nor does he wish for anything. The loss of material does not affect him, and these are only illusions. The Bible, in Bible, Christ says, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. Not as the world gives you, do I give you. Not as the world gives you, do I give you. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. John 14:27. In Quran, it is mentioned that those who follow the right path, for them, there are no worries, no anxieties. They disappear. Worries and anxieties disappear. Similarly, in Shia Islam, a prayer says to call Ali the spiritual guide, the manifestation of all the marvels in the world. Who will be your helper in difficulty? Every anxiety and sorrow will end. The common words in all this, if you have noticed, in essence are the sorrows, that is regret and anxiety. Now, think about that. We normally regret on the past, something which has happened in the past, we regret about that. I'm sorry, some particular thing happened, right? And we have our anxiety in the future because it is unknown to us. So we have anxiety for that. So if both of these disappear from our lives, all that we have left now is peace, without any worries of the past and without any worries of the future. The question now is, how do we acquire the peace? One sure way is by meditation. And among the 9 popular types of meditation practices, I want to concentrate on the spiritual meditation. Spiritual meditation is used nearly in all religion. It focuses in developing a deeper understanding of spiritual meaning and the connection of our soul with the higher power, that higher spiritual force. In Christianity, it is contemplative prayer. In Islam, it is dhikr, remembrance of Allah. In Judaism, it's Kabbalistic practices. These can be practiced at home or at the place of worship where environment plays a positive part as well. In Quran, the chapter 13, verse 28 puts it very beautifully. And those who believe and their hearts are at peace, by Allah's remembrance, certainly it is by Allah's remembrance that their hearts are set at peace. So the remembrance of Allah and remembrance of God, whichever God you believe in, is very, very important. Now, how does this work? How does this work? A lot of people ask us, how does this work? In a scientific way, we can explain in one way. This is by liturgy. What liturgy means? Liturgy means constant and continuously chanting the word or the phrases which are divine or otherwise. And they are chanted silently without the movement of the tongue and concentration of the word itself. What does that do? That settles our brain's activity, bringing tranquility, peace, and spiritual openness. It turns off the logic centers of our brain. And this is necessary because God is beyond logic. Spirituality and God is beyond logic and language. Thus, peace develops within us. So for the peace in the world, we are knocking at the wrong doors. As said earlier, like peace in the peace missions, peace force, as I said earlier, that what the world is doing to get the peace, all the external sources we are getting for the peace. But let us reflect on that a little bit. If an individual generates peace within him, he will have a peace within himself. He will be at peace. So if all the members of the family generate peace within them, there will be peace in the family. If all the families generate peace within them, then there will be peace within the community. If all the community generate peace within themselves, there will be peace in the town. If there's a peace in the town, there will be peace in the country. If there are peace in the countries, there will be peace in the world. And this is how we can acquire peace, not by peace missions, peace delegations, United Nations peacekeeping force. These are all external affairs which have never proved so far that they can get. Today, the world is still fraught of all the problems and the difficulties because we are knocking at the wrong doors. We are trying to search for the peace from the outside, but peace is within us. And even at the times when there is no peace in the world, even at those bad times, in ever-increasing turbulent world, we will insulate ourselves from the tension, worries, and anxiety and depression. Like an example I give of the cork. A cork in a strong, turbulent sea with the big waves, it will submerge for a while, but it will bounce back. It will come back on the top. And it will come back on the top because of its buoyance. And this is that what remembrance gives us that buoyance. So one can be said, when as the cork goes down, we can compare that one can be sad, but never unhappy, because it will bounce back into the ourselves, a peace within us, and never unhappy. Here, health and well-being and mental processes improve with the meditation. So does our ethical behavior. There is a greater success in enlightenment in the guidance and in the vicinity of the authoritative and more enlightened among us. Global peace and harmony, openness, that is unity, can be achieved with much ease and a common intention of the group, like the group of us. If they go more group like us, they will generate peace within them. And all have the one intention of peace in the world. And eventually we'll have that. And finally, for the harmony of the mankind, which can bring peace in this world, one verse of the Quran sums up nicely. Majority of the verses in the Quran are directed to the believers. But this one is addressed to the human beings. And it goes, O mankind, we created you from one soul, and as male and female, and made you into nations and tribes, so that you may know one another. Verily, the noblest among you is in the sight of Allah, the most good, fearing surely Allah. That's the most among you in the sight of Allah. The most of you among the sight of Allah is the one who are fearing God. Sure, Allah is all-knowing and all-allowance. Chapter 49, verse 13. Thank you very much for listening to me. And I reiterate again that these are all my personal views and my personal experiences. And I would love to hear your views as well. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nizar Mawani. Now, Australian official Tamil translator will summarize your speech in Tamil language. So, Mr. Kumarasamy Pillai, Master, please.
அனைத்து மாஸ்டர்ஸுக்கும் எனது இதயம் கனிந்த வணக்கம். இப்பொழுது நீங்கள் எல்லோரும் நிசார் பவானி என்பவர் அமைதியும் ஒத்திசைவும் என்ற தலைப்பில் ஆற்றிய உரையை கேட்டு மகிழ்ந்தீர்கள். அதன் ஆங்கில உரையின் தமிழ் தொகுப்பை நான் வழங்க விளைகின்றேன். முதலாவது மனம் ஒருமைப்பாடு இல்லாமல் இணக்கமாக அமைதியாக எப்படி வாழலாம் என்ற நோக்கை குறிக்கோளை கொண்டு அவர் தன்னுடைய உரையை ஆற்றியிருந்தார். முதலாவது அவர் டன்சானியாவில் வாழ்ந்தவர். அதற்கு பிறகு இங்கிலாந்துக்கு வந்தார். டன்சானியாவில் வாழும் பொழுது அவருக்கு மன அழுத்தமோ பதற்றமோ என்பதை எப்பொழுதும் அனுபவித்ததில்லை. ஆனால் இங்கிலாந்துக்கு வந்த பின்பு அவருடைய வாழ்க்கை ஒரு மன அழுத்தத்துடன் நிறைந்த ஒரு வாழ்க்கையாக அமைந்தது. அவருடைய உரை நோக்குதலில் உலகத்திலே இப்பொழுது மருந்தான் நாடி இருக்கிறார்கள் எல்லோரும். குறிப்பாக 14 வரை இளைஞர்கள் கூட மன அமைதிக்காக மருந்தை நாடிக்கொண்டிருக்கின்றார்கள். இதை நீங்கள் என்ன காரணம் என்றால், நீங்கள் இணையத்திலே என்றால் ஊடகத்தில் என்றால் எதை பார்த்தாலும் உலகம் நாடி இருப்பது தேடி இருப்பது மன அமைதியைத்தான் தேடிக்கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். இப்ப அது மன அமைதி என்பது ஒரு வியாபார பொருளாக மாறிவிட்டது. நான் கொமோடிட்டி என்ற சொல் ஒரு பொருளாகிவிட்டது என்று நான் கூற விரும்புகின்றேன். அது அடுத்தது இன்று உலகத்திலே உலகம் முழுக்க உலகளாவிய நீரலை உட்பூசல் மனச்சஞ்சலம் இப்படியானதுகள் நிறைந்து மலிந்து காணப்படுகின்றது. இது தனி மனிதனுக்கு இருக்கின்றது, சமூகத்தில் இருக்கின்றது, உலகளாவிய ரீதியில் இந்த பிரச்சனை இருந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றது. அடுத்ததாக அக்டோபர் 1992 உங்களுக்கு எல்லோருக்கும் தெரியும், கல்ஃப் வார் நிகழ்ந்தது. அந்த நேரத்திலே எவ்வளவு போர்கள் நடந்து அழிவுகள் ஏற்பட்டது என்றது எங்களுக்கு தெரியும். மற்றது மன அமைதியை பற்றி எத்தனையோ பேர் பேசியிருக்கின்றார்கள், எத்தனையோ நூல்கள் வெளிவந்திருக்கின்றன. இருந்தும் மன அமைதி என்பது ஒரு கிடையாத காணல் நீர் போகின்றது தோன்றுகின்றது. முக்கியமாக நாங்கள் ஏன் அமைதி பெறவில்லை என்றால், நாங்கள் அமைதியை வெளியிலே தேடிக்கொண்டிருக்கின்றோம். உண்மையான அமைதி எங்கே இருக்கின்றால் நமது அகத்திலேதான், உள்ளேதான் இருக்கின்றது. உள்ளே இருக்கின்ற பொருளை வெளியே தேடி பெறுவது என்பது எளிய காரியம் அல்ல. அடுத்ததாக அமைதியை எல்லா சமயங்களும் போதிக்கின்றன. அமைதியாக இருக்க வேண்டும் என்பது எல்லா சமயங்களும் நோக்கம் குறிக்கோளாக இருக்கின்றது. அதற்காக வேண்டிய போதனைகளை எல்லா சமயங்களும் செய்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றன. அடுத்தது ஒரு உண்மையாக நாங்கள் அமைதி என்று அதனுடைய வர இலக்கணம் என்று நாங்கள் என்ன என்று சிந்தித்து பார்த்தால், முதலாவது ஒரு குழந்தைக்கு அமைதி என்பது ஒரு இயற்கையானது. ஒரு அரசியல்வாதிக்கு நாட்டிலே எந்த விதமான பிரச்சனையும் இல்லாமல் ஒரு அமைதியான நாடாக இருக்க வேண்டும் என்பதுதான் ஒரு அரசியல்வாதி விரும்புவார். ஒரு சண்டை போடுவான் சோல்டியர் என்ன செய்வான் என்றால், உலகத்திலேயே சண்டை இருக்கக்கூடாது, தானும் அமைதியாக இருக்கலாம் என்று விரும்புகின்றான். தனி மனிதன் என்னத்தை விரும்புகின்றான் என்றால், உலகத்திலே சமாதானம் இருக்க வேண்டும், மன அமைதி இருக்க வேண்டும் என்றதைத்தான் ஒரு தனி மனிதன் வேண்டுகின்றார். ஆகையினாலே ஒவ்வொருவருக்கும் அமைதி என்ற சொல்லை எப்படி என்று அவர்கள் தவறு விருப்பத்திற்கடி அதை பாவித்து சந்தர்ப்பம் சூழ்நிலைக்கு இருக்க பயன்படுத்தி கொண்டிருக்கின்றார்கள். இப்ப அது இப்ப அப்ப இதுல இருந்து என்ன நீங்க தெரியுது என்றால் சமாதானம் அமைதி வேணும் என்றால் அது மனத்திலிருந்தே ஆரம்பமாக வேண்டும். இப்ப உலகத்திலே ஏன் அமைதி இல்லை என்றால் மனத்திலே நிம்மதி இல்லை, மனதிலே இல்லை, இதயத்திலே அன்பு இல்லை. இதுல இருந்து என்ன தெரியும் என்றால் அமைதியை முடிவு செய்வது, தீர்மானிக்கிறது வெளியில் நடப்பவை அல்ல, நமக்குள்ளே இதயத்திலே மனத்திலே எழுகின்ற உணர்ச்சிகள் உணர்வுகள் தான் அதுக்கான காரணம். இப்ப எல்லா சமயங்களும் இந்து சமயம் என்றான, புத்த சமயம் என்ற, இஸ்லாம் சமயம் என்றான எல்லா சமயங்களும் மனிதன் அமைதியுடன் வாழ வேண்டும் என்ற நோக்கத்தில் தான் அவருடைய கொள்கைகளையும் கோட்பாடுகளையும் விழுமியங்களையும் அமைத்துள்ளார்கள். என்னென்றால் இப்ப புத்தர் சொல்லி இருக்காரு, எங்களுக்கு உள்ள அமைதி தான் வெளி அமைதியை கொண்டு வரும். இதே குறிக்கோளைத்தான் இஸ்லாம் என்றான பகவத்கீதை என்னென்ன எல்லாம் சொல்லி கொண்டிருக்கின்றது. அடுத்ததாக இதுல இந்த எல்லா சமயங்களும் உலகத்துக்கு விடும் என்ற செய்தி என்னென்றால், கடவுள் ஒருவரை இறை நம்பிக்கை மிகவும் இன்றியமையாது என்ற ஒரு முழுமையற்ற கோட்பாட்டை உலகத்துக்கு முன்வைத்திருக்கின்றது. முக்கியமாக நாங்கள் கருத வேண்டியது என்றால், வாழ்க்கையிலே 2 முக்கியம். ஒன்று கடந்த காலத்தை பற்றி கவலைப்பட்டு கொண்டிருத்தல், அதிலேயே எதிர்காலத்தை பற்றி பதட்டப்பட்டு கொண்டிருக்கிறது. இந்த 2ம் இல்லை என்றால் நிச்சயமாக மனிதனுக்கு மன நிறைவு, மன அமைதி ஏற்படும். இப்ப என்ன மாதிரி நாங்கள் இந்த பதட்டத்தையோ கடந்த கால நினைவுகளையோ அகற்ற முடியும் என்றால் நிச்சயமாக தியானம் தான் ஒரு வழி. எல்லா சமயங்களும் தியானத்தின் முக்கியத்தையும் இன்றியமையாதையும் மிக தெளிவாக எடுத்து கூறிக்கொண்டிருக்கின்றன. இறை நம்பிக்கை வேண்டும் என்பதைத்தான் நான் இங்கே வலியுறுத்தி கூற விரும்புகின்றேன். இந்த மன அமைதி ஏற்பட்டால் நமது மூளையிலே ஒரு பலவிதமான மாற்றங்கள் ஏற்பட்டு உடல்நலத்துடனும் உடல் நலத்துடனும் வாழலாம் என்பதுதான் இந்த சமயங்களுக்கு கூறும் கோட்பாடுகளும் கொள்கைகளும். இப்ப நீங்க எடுத்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா உலக அமைதியை எப்படி நாங்கள் உருவாக்கலாம் என்று சிந்தித்து பார்த்தால், முதலாவது ஒரு தனி மனிதனுடன் ஆரம்பிக்கிறது. தனி மனிதன் தனக்குள்ளே அமைதியை காண வேண்டும். கண்டால் அந்த குடும்பத்தில் உள்ள ஒவ்வொருவரும் குடும்பத்திலேயே ஒரு அமைதியை காண முடியும். குடும்பத்திலே அமைதி நிலவினால் அந்த சமூகத்திலே அமைதி நிலவும். சமூகத்திலே அமைதி நிலவினால் அந்த நகரத்திலே அமைதி நிலவும். அந்த நகரத்திலே அமைதி நின்றால் அந்த நாட்டிலே அமைதி நிலவும். இந்த நாட்டிலே அமைதி ஏற்பட்டால் உலகளாவிய ரீதியிலே நிச்சயமாக அமைதி ஏற்படும். இதுல இருந்து என்ன கூற விரும்புகிறேன் என்றால், அமைதி வேணும் என்றால் முதலில் தனி மனிதன் ஒவ்வொருவரும் தன்னை மாற்றிக்கொள்ள வேண்டும். தன்னை மாற்றிக்கொண்டு தனக்குள்ளே அமைதியை கண்டால் உலகளாவிய ரீதியில் நாங்கள் அமைதியை காண முடியும். வெளியிலிருந்து சட்டங்களோ சீர்திருத்தங்களோ கொண்டு வருவதாலே நாங்கள் அமைதியை அடைய முடியாது. அடுத்தது இப்ப இருக்கிற நிலைமை என்னென்றா, உலகம் எடுத்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா உலகம் பதட்டமான நிலையிலேயோ மேல அழுத்தமான நிலையிலேயோ மேல சோர்வுடன் எல்லாரும் காணுகின்றார்கள். அப்ப இதே நாங்கள் என்ன மாதிரி நிறைவேற்றலாம், எப்படி நாங்கள் உடல் நலத்துடன் உணர்வுடன் நன்ற வாழ்க்கையை வாழலாம் என்றால் அதுக்கு ஒரே ஒரு வழி தியானம். உலகளாவிய அமைதியையும் ஒற்றுமையையும் நாங்கள் பேண வேண்டும், அடைய வேண்டும் என்ற ஆவா இருந்தால் நிச்சயமாக அது நாங்கள் குழுக்களாக தியானங்கள் செய்வதால் நாங்கள் அதை அடையலாம் என்பதை நான் கூற விரும்புகின்றேன். அடுத்ததாக இறுதியாக நான் சொல்ல விரும்புகிறேன் என்றால், நான் பகிர்ந்து கொண்ட உலக அளவிய ரீதியிலே நாங்கள் சொன்னோம் என்றால் சமய புத்தகங்கள் நூல்கள் சொல்லுகின்ற கோட்பாடுகளையும் கொள்கைகளையும் விளிமைகளையும் பின்பற்ற வேண்டும். இறுதியாக நான் உங்களுக்கு கூற விரும்புகின்றால், நான் இதுவரையும் கூறியது என்னுடைய தனிப்பட்ட கருத்துக்கள். இப்பொழுது உங்களோட கேள்விகள் இருந்தால் நான் அவற்றுக்கு பதிலளிக்க விரும்புகின்றேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kumarasamy Pillai, for your super translation. Thank you very much. And now, congratulations, Mr. Mawani. You are well deserved. Your discipline and commitment and dedication to your profession and to your community is an inspiration. So that is very important. And also you said John Lennon from the Beatles said, give peace a chance. And also you said peace within is very, very important for world peace and harmony. Excellent speech. Now I invite Mr. Saktidasan to view, what is views.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, let me thank you for giving me an opportunity to say a few words regarding this speech of Mr. Mawani. He has exemplarily, very expertly explained to us how peace is important, and peace in this world will only bring harmony to everyone's life. And to that extent, meditation forms a very big part, because each individual person develops himself and better himself by meditating. By being a meditator, you actually embrace everyone and every religion, and you don't have no differentiation. And that was fantastically explained by Mr. Mawani. This is where we are. We should all get united and forget our differences in the religions and the beliefs. And there may be several rivers running, but all of them will end up in the same sea. And we are all going towards that. And thank you for Mr. Sri Skandaraja and Arundhati Madam to providing this nice platform to all of us to come together and appreciate the good work and good mindset of everyone. And I should congratulate Mr. Kumaraswamy Pillai, Master, for expertly translating into Tamil. It's a very difficult task when a very nice speech like Mr. Mawani's speech, to give that in Tamil without losing the entire nucleus of the speech. That was done expertly and wonderfully. Thank you, Mr. Kumaraswamy Pillai, and it's lovely, and I wish you all the best. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much, Saktidasan. Next is Arundhati Master. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nizar Mawani, for your excellent speech. And you have proved that, because you said that, because as a pharmacist, you know how many people are coming to get the medication for this stress and anxiety. And you said the younger generation, about 14 to 15 years, children are coming to take the medication because every day you are serving these children. So we have to bring the peace within us, and then only that we can make a whole community to be in peace. And when the community and when everybody is in peace, that we can bring the world peace. And you have explained very well. Thank you very much for your excellent speech. And it should, we all have to get together, and especially the group meditation. It can help individuals and everybody to become in one and to do the meditation. And we will all soon, we will have peace in the whole world. As you said, that every individual have to have their own peace, so that peace will spread everywhere. So this peace and harmony will be in all in the world. So thank you for your excellent speech. And I would like to thank Kumaraswamy Pillai Master, who has very well explained in Tamil what you said. So thank you very much, Kumaraswamy Pillai Master, as well. Thank you. Thank you. Kumar Saipale Master, you can also say a few words about Mawani's speech. Thank you.
Actually, Mr. Nizar, your speech was really wonderful. Really, you touch on the most important thing, which is everybody should acknowledge it. The first and foremost, the most important thing is nowadays you can see the media is also responsible, in my opinion, media is also
100%.
responsible for all the turmoil in this world, because actually when you listen to all the news and all those things, especially the younger generation, they are misled. So really the media also has an important role to play, because they must have the aim not in making money, as you said, it has become a commodity actually. It has become a business. They are all trying to earn money, but the humanitarian touch or approach is not there. So there's one very important point you touch. The other thing also, nowadays the younger generation are ignoring what the religions are saying. If everybody follows their religion very systematically and consciously, definitely there will be no problem. So we have to give priority to religion, whatever religion, as we all know, all religions have one common objective, that is to achieve peace in the world, so we all can live in harmony and we enjoy the unity. So actually all these meditations are also, the aim is to promote peace within. But we are searching for peace at the wrong place by acquiring more and more wealth, position. These are not your things. For example, when we study the history of Alexander the Great, we know what he meant. I don't want to, because everybody knows what Alexander finally realized. So when we leave this world, we don't take anything with us. We leave everything behind. So only thing what we can take with us is peace within us, and there's peace in the world. The only way, as you said, as you have been again and again telling, is to find peace within, and only answer is to meditate, meditate, meditate. Thank you very much for your wonderful speech. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar Saipale Master. Thank you very much. Next is Dr. Nadraj Jagannathan from Ilford, England. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thanks very much, Mr. Mawani, for your presentation. It's very appropriate in the current situation we are in. You did highlight that peace needs to come within. But of course, in a material world, peace needs to come within rather than, depending on the outside factors. But in a material world, everything seems to be determined by outside factors, which is a sad thing. The other point you also brought up is peace is not absence of war. You don't need to create peace, isn't it? Peace is the default setting. So you don't need to do, if you do nothing, there's peace. But unfortunately, conflict. Why is the conflict? I'll just sort of try to work it out. The conflict is because of disagreement, discord, and one's expectations not fulfilled. And I think the issue here is two things we have already mentioned in previous discussion. You should treat the other person the same way as you would want him to treat you. Secondly, will you be prepared to accept? Often the conflict in Ukraine as well is, who is right or who is wrong or who deserves this. So would you prepare to accept what you expect the other person to get? So if you ask this question, I don't think people can come with the answer, isn't it? So there you are. So it's all boils down to selfishness, unfortunately. I think one of the ways to overcome the selfishness is perhaps meditation, and gives you, enlightenment in, to overcome this. So I'm sure that's what we are doing. But if we can spread this meditation across to the community and perhaps to the whole world, we can achieve it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nadraj Jagannathan. Now, next is Dr. Shanti Parameswaran. Thank you.
Hello, Nandri. Good evening. Excellent speech. I took some valuable things from your talk. First thing that I took is that wars We have wars every time, every minute, somewhere in this world a war is going on. But you put it very succinctly, wars begin in the minds of a man. I think that was a very good statement for us to take in. And along with that, you said meditation settles brain activity. And I think that goes hand in hand why meditation is so useful for all of us. And that you as a pharmacist, and I'm as a doctor, and particularly as a psychiatrist, we write our antidepressants and anxiety drugs, and just without thinking. But now, thank you, people have come to realize the usefulness of meditation, and you know better than me that mindfulness therapy and all that meditation is also prescribed, not by doctors, by everyone, as a form of medication, as a form of something to settle people's anxiety. And you also said nicely, I always say, past have no regrets, future is a mystery, so live in the reality. Today you said it nicely by saying, no regrets about past, but the anxiety about the future is that what brings the person, makes them anxious. So you put it very nicely. So we are knocking at the wrong doors, you said, but now I think people are more and more realizing the usefulness of meditation, and meditation brings peace to that person. And from that peace, or from one person, as you put it nicely, radiates towards the family, from the family, thankfully, community, from the community for the world peace. So really enjoyed your talk. Very nice. Thank you very much. Thank you. I really enjoyed it. And also for Ganamadi Pilla Master, who really well translated that into Tamil. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shanti Parameswaran. Now, Mrs. Yogi Nagendran from Reading, England.
Greetings to you all, either good morning or good evening. And Mr. Nizar Mawani is a wonderful talk. As everybody said, we need this at the current situation at the moment. And what I wanted to say, Mr. Kumarasamy Pilla, Master already told you, but I always blame the media, because one time we only had television, and there's nothing on telly. They all go for the music and they listen and they relax automatically. Whether there's a fast music or what sort of thing, at least they'll sit down and they listen. It calms them down a bit. But now the handphone comes up, and then everybody, even including us, all the adults as well as the youngsters, that phone is cutting out the communication, number one. Number two is always on that all the time. Even when you sit down 1 minute on the roadside and you look how many people goes passing you, they'd never communicate. They always had phones on their hand, always looking at it. So there's no communication anymore. So it is that depresses you, because you don't talk to anybody. You talk to yourself all the time, or on the phone, and you don't see the person's face, the expression, nothing. And if you think about that, it is really bad. It's like missionary life they started to lead. There's no sharing their feelings as such. But you said beautifully about all the religion and living present. It's true. And if you think about the younger generation, it got a high expectation, because there is no struggle in their life. Whatever they want, they can get it straight away. So they want everything to be like that, everything they want instantly. Therefore, if anything goes the way it's not there, they don't know how to put it right. So as he said, all these things happening, and I really don't know. It's a mind-blowing situation. And it has to start from one person like us. We are doing dhyan meditation. And we had to find a peace within ourselves. We can't say to anybody, you do it, you'll get peace. They will get the vibration from us. We have to do our own meditation, bring that outside. The way we do, the way we think, and how we speak. All those three things, we have to express ourselves, that peacefulness to everybody. So it's gradually, as he said, start from you to your family, to the outside the house, and so on. So I think you said beautifully. Thank you so much. Come up with another subject next time. We are looking forward to. Thank you. Thank you.
I really don't know what to say.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Yogi Nagendran. Mr. Nizar Mawani, do you want to say anything?
No,
I think
that's
Jnana
fine.
Master want to speak, I think. Jnana Master, do you want to speak?
Go ahead.
Deep then யோசிக்கிறேன்.
Okay.
The
Okay.
speech
Unmute பண்ணிருக்கீங்க because of you have unmuted yourself.
Yeah. And the speech வந்து நான் appreciate பண்ணிருக்கேன். And I mean, yeah, I really don't know what to say.
Okay, Jnana Master. She's appreciating your speech, Mawani Master.
Thank you very much.
Speechless.
Okay,
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
You can speak, Mr. Nizar Mawani.
Yeah, I think one of the observations we note that, I mean, you may have started with a very small group, and gradually it grows. It has grown now internationally. I mean, I was also approached, and I joined this group, and I'm beginning to enjoy it, and I'm discovering something nicely. And I think we should not really, in a way, be discouraged, because I always live in a very wonderful example. The example goes that the two people were walking on the seashore. And because of the tide, there were some fish which were already stranded. And they were struggling because the tide had gone back and they were left on the shore and they were struggling. So these two people walking, one of them would pick the fish and throw it in the sea. So his friend turned around and told him that it's a waste of time. There are hundreds and thousands here. It's not going to make any difference because you throw the fish, which is normally we believe. But look what the friend told him. When he said that it's not going to make any difference, he replied, it made the difference to the one I threw that lived. And so our task is to carry on. Doesn't matter the numbers. One day, all the people walking on the shore will start throwing the fish and we will be able to save all the fishes. There's a lovely story I know, and I never discourage when I hear this story or when I tell this story. So we are making a good effort. We are helping ourselves, and we are on the way to help the world achieve peace in the world, where we can live in harmony, create paradise on this earth. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And anyone?
I think the time is coming up.
Okay.
We can go
That
for
is
chat
the
box
announcement.
now.
Okay, I'll tell the announcement now. Tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. United Kingdom time, Mr. Krishnamurthy will speak about Andaman Island. It's a very good speech, about Andaman Island. At 11 a.m., Dr. Naveen Rajagopal going to speak about meditation and yoga. So you know that we are doing every day, UK time, 9:30 a.m., 11 o'clock and 8:30 p.m. our meditation for world peace and harmony. Anyway, thank you very much. So now, who is that? Thanalakshmi Arunachalam going to sing?
Raghavi, can you do Yogi Master, can you please read the chat box?
Yeah. அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். தினமும் பிரித்தானியா நேரம் பகல் 9:30 மணிக்கும் 11 மணிக்கும் இரவு 8:30 மணிக்கும் ஐரோப்பிய நேரம் 10:30 மணிக்கும் 12 மணிக்கும் இரவு 9:30 மணிக்கும் இந்திய இலங்கை நேரம் மதியம் 2 மணிக்கும் 3:30 மணிக்கும் அதிகாலை 1 மணிக்கும் ஆஸ்திரேலியா சிட்னி நேரம் மாலை 6:30 மணிக்கும் மாலை 8 மணிக்கும் காலை 5:30 மணிக்கும் நியூயார்க் டொரண்டோ அதிகாலை 4:30 மணிக்கும் காலை 6 மணிக்கும் மாலை 3:30 மணிக்கும் சிங்கப்பூர் மலேசியா நேரம் மாலை 4:30 மணிக்கும் மாலை 6 மணிக்கும் அதிகாலை 3:30 மணிக்கும் தியான நிகழ்ச்சி நடைபெறும். Every day we are doing meditation for world peace and harmony. UK time 9:30 AM, 11 AM and 8:30 PM. Europe time 10:30 AM, 12 noon and 9:30 PM. Sri Lanka, India time 2 PM, 3:30 PM and 1 AM. Australia, Sydney time 6:30 PM, 8 PM. March. Right, is Punidavadi in the chat box. It put wonderful speech, Mawani Master clearly explained the value of meditation for peace in the world. That's only
Thank
one.
you. Thank you, Yogi Master, for your chat box. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.